Granted people, let it be. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be. Oh, let it be. Just a closer walk with thee. Granted people, let it be. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be. Oh, let it be.
All aboard! Tell your neighbor to be encouraged.
Be encouraged.
Oh, I didn't hear y'all.
Be encouraged.
Be encouraged.
Be encouraged.
Thank you very much. Tonight I am encouraged, but I haven't always been. So let's bridge the gap between now and then. Even though my home was long gone to drive-by, and it smashed down into a lot of grass now, I had to see it one more time to believe it couldn't be saved. For a decade, prayed for a way to keep the place for my family. Today it's raised to a memory. But the elements are timeless. They are now as they were then. So let's call them in to help us begin. Huh? And water. See you, right? That we are here together. But the question is, how did we get here? All we got is blue. All I got is blue. damn heat is Hoover damn heavy. I feel like every pore of my body is clogged with sweaty ooze. We are in the shade and still baking, still waiting for Rita, the patron saint of lost causes. And she stays busy in the city that cared for God. A slow yawn stretches out my mouth and into the syrup of the atmosphere. My arms are glistening, soaked in the steam rising from the cracked concrete beneath our feet. Above, blue bits of sky leak between low-hung clouds. They are grayed whitecaps crested atop a sea of heat waves. Oh, we are bathed in August, New Orleans, waiting for the Regional Transit Authority bus. That's St. Rita, and that's our ride home. Now, have you seen her? She's a rolling porch from which we perch and witness the central business district to the city limits, ghost town to Bayou Sauvage. She rolls green, purple, and gold like a shoebox Mardi Gras float. And ain't no better way to see the city unless the streets are flooded and you got a boat.
She is a spectacle, speckled with rain,
reflecting the sky as she crosses street lane.
we sit in her heartbeat and sweat stain.
She carries bones home to the dust through the rain.
She tests your patience and your pride all the same.
That's sweet on her blessings, or a walk from now to never again.
Never again, never again, never again, never again.
And there she goes, coming, grumbling, farting smoke. She hobbles and throttles to a stop with a choke. Her doors, long and thin, they fold open with a hiss. Black rubber steps lead up to bliss, a heavenly cool. You may ascend as long as you drop in your doubloon. And Rita has squares everywhere, boxes and frames that contain the depth of her perception and the reflection of reality therein. She's made of bolts, joints, and rivets, bent angles dented with divots and wires, draped her entire length, and infinite crevices in which to lose things. Imagine the pins and pennies in her betweens. She hums like an old lady, with her displeasure, and with agreement in equal measure. She heaves as she sways and glides over bumps, rocking her riders side to side, teeter-tottering on their rumps. I move to the back, drenched in the funk of the day's fever. There's plenty of space between passengers, and thank God for that. Imagine being packed in like some booty on a pirate ship, or piled on top of each other like hot coals at a picnic. Oh, hell no. If there's space, you better take it. Now sit and watch this city unfold through St. Rita's smoke windows. They're stained by the rain. Every block we pass is a yellow-green antique, tweaked with patches of fresh paint bubbling in the boiling heat. The porches, they lean aggressively, half sunk in the sooty soil, shipwrecked against grassy sidewalks that have been ground down like a beach to almost even with the street. The trees and weeds and vines wind up and through the roofs, man. This city, it's a wild thing, like a dangling loose tooth. And then, in the midst of all this overgrown decay, appears a flash of something new. Pastel blue, sun peach, rust red packs of humpback shotguns, framed in ornamental wood carvings, painstakingly detailed in wrought iron barring, wrapped in balconies full of plants that are coiffed and curved. And these houses look both gay and surly, like that burly guy you find in a Faubourg Lane. Now take a look at us on this bus, and I know we some displaced souls. We haunting a place that's been dead before, a place that probably died 1,000 times since 500 years ago. We are the living ruins of the river shore. And St. Rita, she just holds her course and rolls on. You riding this ride just like me. Just a bundle of bones in a sack of meat. A trail of nerves from head to feet. Your tongue a tail tucked between your teeth. Say hey. Well, as I'm apt to do, I sat next to no one, to leave space for observation, for imagining people's life stories for fun, for digging for gold in the human condition. I picked up my pen and started character sketching. The driver caught my attention. He had a look that was arresting. He was that strange melding of everything humanity has to offer, often found in New Orleans sons and daughters. I thought up a name for him. Vince. He had thick hands wrapped in amber skin. Hazel flashed in his eyes, a neat goatee cupped his chin. Gold winked from under his lip as a sly, self-satisfied smile crept half across his cheek. Vince bore the grin of a suspect friend as he peered into his mirror and spoke to me. You were right. Nah, I'm just scribbling some shit. Scribbling with shit. Now you know that's something funky. What, you retarded or something? The mentally handicapped got me strapped in the back, yeah. I don't know if I was supposed to laugh at that. I'm just clowning with your nephew. I'm a writer too. Even though I don't write with poo. I do got some funky ass shit. Shifted uncomfortably as Vince stared. Maybe he was expecting some reciprocal poetry, but I don't really share. So I say that was tight, in a way I thought might be cool, but Vince didn't think so. Oh, that was tight, huh? You mean it was tight how I merged mythic and scientific imagery in order to create the voice of the penultimate power? That part was tight? Or was it tight how I rooted the meaning of the piece in the rhythm of the piece, i.e., it ain't about the chicken nor the egg, it's about the math that added one to the other. That part was tight? Tight? Man, Man, keep your cliche. Damn shame to waste game on the unworthy. Oh, maybe somebody heard me. It heard me. He peered more deeply into his mirror past me at a lady sitting in the front middle seat as Rita rocked and rolled over the choppy city streets. And I was tight. What's wrong with me? Oh well, I'll just rhyme a slide lie with what I wish I had said when I sit down to get the story out of my head. I took my pen and trained it on that lady and tried hard to suckle her soliloquy. She sat with thick legs, crossed effortlessly in the elderly section. Her top leg bounced slow and easy. She hummed a bluesy confection. Her too tight dress, it dipped deep between heavy breasts, which were pressed together to form a supple seam, a deep line of black coffee cutting through her mocha cream. Her face is a circus, eyes barred behind whip-thick black lashes, cheekbones dusted in peacock splashes, her lips, plump lips, as red as heat, as raspberry bulbs or raw meat. I know who she could be. She's definitely a lady, like my granny, and crazy, like her sister T. Yes, T. Ann. Now she peeped me peeping her and winked a surprised smile. Like she hadn't been looked at like that in a while, but that couldn't be the case. If I were an older man or a bolder man, I'd be all up in her face pleading my case if she was sitting on a lifetime of mine. Her heavy body base, it vibrates and trembles and waves. She holds her pole to hold her pole in her seat to stay. There's a clown in her face. Oh, it's a monsoon of moods. Her journey from still a sucker to still a sage is mapped and tattooed. Her feet, they look punished, though pumice as peeled grapes. She is a grand dame from me to me. And she interrupted my monologue of her diary to politely chide me.
Excuse me, baby, but you got to speak when you make eye contact. Otherwise, the devil follows you home. I'm not superstitious, though. I ain't no more superstitious than them scientists for believing that evolution created womanhood. Only God could have created something this good. So, next time you see a pretty lady, speak. You can make it if you try, baby.
She patted and rubbed her upper thigh like she had the cure for whatever might ever ail me. Discomfort blazed across my face as I looked away.
Well, don't worry. I done had enough of your type. I'm into tall and dark, not short and light. You know what they say. The darker the tone, the harder the bone. And just so you know, the conceited end up with their favorite person alone.
Now, I'm not conceited. But once again, I'm the skin I'm in, not the man that I am. Don't you hate how we're seen as though we're the repository of everybody else's insecurities? I'm not whoever broke her heart.
I fought the devil when he tempted me, but he chased me where I ran.
Tian, an old man sat with a flask in his lap. His fingers were tarantula leg long and slug fat wrapped around the handle of a crooked cane. The old man's date brown face, it had that maroon shine that comes from too much sun or too much moonshine. He wore a ghostly glow. I know. He's Papa, like my Papa Jules. Fat man, like my grandpa, Papa Fat. And just like that, I could have sworn I heard his voice, black and cavernous behind his teeth. It hovered over and swirled around me. It's just somewhere to be. I've been there and back. Across the troubles and coffin, and I'm carrying all that. I done watched the globe and struck the clouds of sack. But the only song I ain't never heard is Gabriel's home. Folk of my city are so strange, I thought. And I'm the same. Sitting here scribbling and giving strangers names and reasons for living. They won't remember me once they get to where they're getting. We crossed the rusty drawbridge over the industrial canal. That deep gash in the earth carved from the lake to the Mississippi. It is a water street for barge traffic, a market's artery clogged with the world's commodities. The fruits of labor ride the seas in an iron whale's belly, all the way from the Gulf of Mexico to Lake Borgne to that wide water gully called Pontchartrain. From here, affluenza spores flood stores from shore to shore by truck, train, and airplane. They go up Cancer Alley and come down in the rain as death in our breath. Toxins in our veins.
O'Neal, did you put them tools up in the attic yet? Oh, it don't matter. Just get them about the truck. But don't let Bobby see you. I don't trust that old thug bastard far as I can throw him.
Man, them white boys and Creoles giving the Mexicans all the good construction jobs. And you know, they're giving them the hotels and dishwashing jobs too. And they're drinking up all the good brew. Come on. I got off from the casino. Man, ain't no highlight left.
¿Qué dijeron? Se me hace que no se escucha estos pendejos. You know what? Maybe if you get off your lazy ass, you might get a job, hijita, porque eres una floja que
Englishmen, speak English.
How
about this is America? So speak American.
Well, this ain't always been America. New Orleans has been a rainbow town since before the French crown. It was the slavers who brought that black-white duplicity and forced every other type of humanity to find their place in that hierarchy. Poor folks are left to settle on each other's heads, scrapping for scraps off the master's bed like dogs, sicked on themselves, chasing their tails in tall tales of wealth.
Land with a gutting. Let us enter the city's innards and erect Caldas. Bulldoze that bodega. Stand your ground, men. Grab your guns. for the natives that want to stay, like 5 stubborn Indians. Oh, they will get the picture, or they will get shot. This is not the hood anymore.
St. Rita rolls on. We collected a crowd of loud rousers.
Charlie.
Hey, babe.
What it do?
They congregated as they waited to get on the bus. They strolled aboard with showy struts, showing their ass by showing half their butts. And they were all headphones and cold stare, necks craning to see friend and enemy. They were proud as spring daffodils, swaying to the breeze of their own beat. They moved to the back, deep in the cut, to the warm seats atop St. Rita's hot guts. And this is the best place to hide along the ride, where the driver's eyes can't case. And one of the little high school dudes gave another dude a face like, "That's my space." And for a second, I thought we might have a problem between the young ruffians. But then someone stunned everyone dumb. In walked a magnificent thing. Some call her a stallion. And she was stalked by a stubborn battalion of battling youths. Her body, it flowed in slow motion. Breath pecked her parted lips. Her nut-brown legs pushed up on cut pair hips, which switched in locomotion under her knee-high sundress. And that thin cloth might have been rocked right off had she not grabbed the hem between her nail tips and tugged it down. But then how the color hugged her mounds of perfectly round bottom. Oh, it's enough to turn a pillar of salt into a man and make him run back to Sodom as fast as he can. But as she turned to take her seat, another person appeared from behind her and startled me. It was a man, a big man, dressed in a dress wrapped around his body tighter than a tan, tighter than sausage wrapper around boudin. He was all flat and angled, and he had a purse covering where a bulge might dangle. It was a stark contrast. I mean, she was the light of flesh, and she was the bone shadow. I named him Saucy. Saucy like an A250. A poor boy he must have been, smothered in that sweet remoulade. Juicy hen breast crusted over in salty panade. The Saucy's makeup is caked on. The rope-long blonde braids hide the broken bones that frame her face, hide her glass eye, and hide the square that betrays her waist. Big meaty fists, heavy on her wrists, warn a man of the chance he takes with the queen of transit. St. Rita rolls on. Stallion and Saucy took a pair of seats. The older women looked testy. The older men looked anywhere for that food. One man covered his face with vodka. He had relaxed hair and yellow teeth. Sunglasses shaded his eyes and his lips were crusty. He pulled that big raggedy Bible down to his lap to reveal that it matched the frayed strands hanging from his Kango cap. Now that's the deacon proper. And the good deacon must have boarded the bus to preach, because he saw the unholy commotion and took his testimonial opportunity to do his evangelical duty. He cleared his throat and spoke to the community.
Let the bus say amen.
Amen.
Now I know y'all done heard of that kingly God, propped up on his throne, who lays down laws and rules his universe alone. This God is a manly God. People call him He. Powerful men made this God in their image, but I tell you that God did not make me.
Amen.
See, my God is a good God.
Good God.
Good and only good.
Only good.
A giving God.
Yes.
A living God.
Yes.
My God is good. My God comes when I call out. My God is already there. My God is within me. My God is everywhere. My God shines through the seen and the unseen. My God is love, whole, perfect, and complete. My God replenishes and restores and never takes without giving.
Say that.
My God is peace in death and breath for the living. Now ask yourself if your God is that good. Because see, my God is a good God. Good and only good. Now come on down to Free Will Missionary Baptist Church for more of the good word, amen. First Kings 14:24. And there were male cult prostitutes in the land.
What in the hell are you talking about? You best get your old pokey ass out of my mix trick, and with the quickness.
And they did according to all the abominations of all the nations the Lord God sent out of Israel.
Just like the rest of us, I suggest you read your Bible and shut up.
And then there was silence, quick as reflex. And Miss Stallion got up to straighten her dress and order was reset. Oh, Stallion. She was something. Really too fine for words to confine. Too old for their little high school behind. If I had the hunger of a younger man, she would be just my speed. And in my mind, I knew how to greet such a precious treat of serendipity, yet hesitance held my words hostage. But a little high school dude, as though he was gonna live out my fantasy, he walked up to the stallion and got down on one knee. Now that little mannish boy, that's Lil Daddy. Lil Daddy's mahogany neck was long and lean, wrapped in a fatigue kerchief. He looked like a young imam draped in his giant white tee. His camouflage shorts hung low below his scarred knees. His feet were clean as clouds. Gold glowed on his teeth. He opened his hand to Miss Stallion and began to speak.
One day, I'm gonna marry this little lady right here. Why? We gonna be happy and rich with buku babies. Buku babies.
And Daddy started out looking like a fool and ended up sounding crazy. But his swagger did send laughter spattering through the younger dudes in his crew. Little fools from Dr. Charles Drew Middle School. But the daddy's girlfriend, who had apparently been peeping the scene silently, she sprung a leak from her patience. And in order to pay him back for such a disrespectful act as to rap to another woman in front of everybody like that, up she got and sat smack into Lil Daddy's best friend's lap. And Lil Daddy did not like that. I was captivated, keeping a close eye on this activity, readying myself for yet another black tragedy. But St. Rita, God bless her, she stopped. Lil Daddy pulled his keys out of his pocket and went to get off. He waved at Miss Stallion, careful to ignore his own girlfriend. Lil Daddy's best friend enjoyed the twisted fortune that befell him. And that was that, from Dauphine to Lasalle. The sweet satisfaction of distraction had come and gone. And St. Rita, as she always does, rolled on. I noticed an apparition of a man I hadn't seen get on the bus. The driver gave him a look of utter disgust. I His nose was long and wide. His skin, brown egg white. He wore a fedora cocked to the left, back hunched to the right. Long gray curls, hard with dirt, snaked out over his shirt. And he had a summer scarf wrapped around his neck, as tight as a clerical collar. This looked like it was his Sunday best, washed and swallowed. He fumbled in his bag for about 4 stops, kept glancing at me nervously. I wrote down the name that came to me on a blank sheet. Priest.
Mardi Gras Day at the ball. New Year's night in an alley. Catholic school to seminary. From gallery hall to the gallows. Bred to rule the roost. Cast out of his cast, a denizen of distinguished skin. A shadow, looking glass, last name, Sonnet Leontine. 10th City Autograph. Ride Rita for rest.
You riding this rider just like me. Just a bundle of bones in a sack of meat. A trail of nerves from head to feet. Your tongue a tail tucked between your teeth. Just as I finished sketching the trope of his imagery, Priest broke the unspoken golden rule and sat next to me. And that's closer than riders are supposed to be on a bus this empty. I leaned to the far edge of my seat. But Priest got up and got off. Must have just wanted a short pause from his hot walk. St. Rita. She rolled on. We rode the clay-born canopy under the shadow of I-10. And at the corner of Orleans, near what used to be the Storyville Red Light District, and then became the Iberville Housing Project, St. Rita rolled to a rest. And 3 boys boarded. And as they walked the aisle, their feet clicked and clacked from the bottle caps they had glued to the bottom of their full tap shoes. And boys like these come from the other side of Rampart to dance the blues in the quarter for quarters on Royal charters underneath the antiques and art. The big boy, he plucked white strings and made them fret. The middle one, he blew a hole, hand poked out his pocket. The little one slapped a slow beat across his knee. And all 3 sang a kind of blue harmony, Freddie Fredo.
Daddy, where you at, Daddy? Daddy, need you back, Daddy. Daddy, come back, Daddy. Daddy, so long he's gone away. Daddy was too young, wasn't ready for a son he left. One night after they had a fight, she cried till morning came.
The big boy tipped his saint's cap, seeking a tribute for their trials. Quite a few people made offerings to the tribulation in their smiles. St. Rita rolled on. I looked out the window at my reflection. And outside, the world by. I spent a minute spinning in that vision until another caught my eye. A girl stood at the corner of Triku and Tupelo, rubbing her budding belly in a slow circle. Her fingertips pressed lightly into She brought them to her mouth and kissed them. As she stared off into the darks in the distance, as the sun trickled through the oaks in a soft yellow instance. St. Rita paused, knelt, and exhaled.
Baby, baby, it's time for you to sleep, babe. Baby, babe, it's time for you to sleep.
Duerme, mi amor.
And when you sleep, the world will come around you. And in the calm, you dream the night away. And when you wake, the sun will come to greet you. And when you wake, the moon will wave goodbye. And I'll be here to hold you oh so close to me. Baby, babe, I love you so.
Te amo, mi amor.
Baby, babe, I love you so.
And St. Rita, she rolled on. We approached Jackson Barracks, out in the parish of St. Bernard, where hard times hound and plantations abound, trailers park on the shattered shards of property. The ancient oaks with their guilty limbs salt to the street, still heavy with the weight of swinging bodies. The thick cypress trees breathe the sulfur breeze that rolls off mountains of coal. The rusty boats rock on cinder blocks. Truckers toddle out of taverns. Suburban sheiks ride lawnmowers from Chalmette to Araby. And the parish was once a colorful place, but now it's black, white, and green. But in American Louisiana, c'est la vie. I ruminate on the Wrigley's, the extremities of this prospector's paradise. Louisiana, a steaming hot crock pot of possible prosperity, a Casbah of certain calamity, where we wade through shifting fates on watery soil, sliding like tectonic plates through play and toil, through plagues, fires and floods, people, places, and things have mingled in the French market, where races rule and cultures collide in this human gumbo of mumbo jumbo. St. Rita rolls on. I saw a woman with her thick body stuffed into some cut-off jean shorts and a tank top. She leaned left on a poked-out hip, looking black coffee, dripping hot. She was with a dapper white man who had his hands on her waist as he whispered into the nape of her neck. I got caught in the stark contrast between her bronze skin and his taut flesh. His crystal clean shaven head was a full moon in the day. His gaunt cheeks looked empty, as though he'd said all there was to say. His fingers were bones around his styrofoam cup. He hid his eyes under a tilted brim and looked up. And now that would be Jack the donkey. He poured a kiss on his thick, young Mrs. Plump lips and waddled up and on to the bus. He greeted all of us with a, "Now ain't no need for y'all to get up." And as he walked the aisle, his shuffling feet hit a beat. And as he groped for balance, his weathered hand spoke to me.
Rather that Kerouac, white hot soul, crossed the race line long time ago. Ain't never had no time for school, don't know no way to act. act, but to act the damn fool. Poor man streets done made me king. Walk anywhere, say anything. Revving that Kerouac white hot soul. Revving that Kerouac white hot soul.
A slow rumble bubbled up from a huddle in the back of the bus. It was a cackle of teens daring each other to act up.
Do it for the vine!
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for the vine!
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it for the vine!
I'm not gonna do it.
Hey, look, hey, 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 look, hey,
Come on, don't be no punk. Go do it.
No, ain't no but a rhyme, man. Ain't going to jail.
Just do it right before the next stop and we'll hop off and be gone.
And be gone.
Man, get that nigga.
Shit, he ain't gonna do it.
Shit, nigga, watch.
There it is. That curt-cutting knife of a word that gnawed at our ancestors' humanity while we, their progeny, profit off of its profanity. It is insanity to work, the worth of that word. It is a word that strips people of their stories with the nick flick of the tongue, like the clap of a gun, like the gnash of the teeth of the growl of the crowd that smiled at lynched bodies. They called him that word, and him, and them. And if they would have had the word then, they would have hurled it at him. You see, words like these form the black hole of other. Fill him with your deepest fears. Well, we've come to some conundrum. It's a no-win situation, fact pattern like back in law school, set up to fool you into a conclusion you haven't completely thought through. I can't let these children beat this man after what they did wrong. But I refuse to allow him to break their spirits with the lash of his tongue. Something must be done. Just in case you want to sue this young hooligan for his lunch money, here's my card. Know what? Let him hit you, and we gonna hit him back in his bank account real hard. Mr. Bus Driver, would you come on and break up this confrontation so I can help you slip and fall into some workman's compensation? And if y'all want a policy banning these thugs from the bus, I'll write the legislation. I'm a lawyer, a professional storyteller. And as an advocate for adversarial parties, I sure do hope y'all continue to hate each other.
Well, shut up.
Can I tell you a story first? About a girl who believes that a viral video will get her a scholarship to college. Or about a blues man who just wants to share his hard-earned street knowledge. Or about a bus driver whose silence is filled with poetry. What about me? I had to tear down the house I grew up in before I got on this bus. My mother died in that house. We all got something weighing us down and some high hopes too. And if you put the two together, you realize that all we all got is blues. If you rich on mother, if you broke Alabama water jersey, if you rich that Diana old bird, hey, that's for sure. Ask me how I know.
You're lucky it's still bus.
You lucky you on the bus.
And St. Rita rolls on. But just then, a young oak of a man began slapping a roll of newspapers across his hand as he got up to stand. His shoulders looked wide and broad and heavy as an iron cross. Thick dreadlocks splashed off his face, which was uncommonly stern for his age. I call him my lord, like the bayou rebel who shamed the devil and waged war on the peculiar institution, got an army of escaped slaves to raid and ruin plantations. My lord, true to his name, he bellowed a speech of deep political gain. My people, I don't mean you no harm.
I just want to make sure you know about the oncoming storm. It ain't El Nino or hurricane. It is we the people, and it's time for a real change. You gotta work like working all damn night after working all day. You work when we can't straight pay. And the pain low, but the boss don't care. The boss got you, and the boss don't share. You work with the man, not out of your hand. We work with the like the man. We can make our own code, our own things, build our own house, teach our own. Stop pushing us later, get in the way. We sit in the streets and they got big pay. We sit in the streets and they got big pay. We sit in the streets and they got big pay.
A youngster nods, quietly to himself, meditating on his future like to nail his mental health. He rapped with his views, took the root of his lyrics. He spoke ferocious, loud enough for us to hear it. Let loose the burdens of the kingdom from his spirit. Let loose the burdens of the kingdom from his spirit. The flood is coming, the crowds are running, the guns are dumping, the cops are dumping. The bodies in the river floating by the rivermen. They watch us starving to the bone, we ain't giving in. The baby's hungry, hot and wailing, that's a damn sin. Grandmama's coughing in a coffin, some Mexican. We boot up to do what? A soldier got him. Shoot up at the choppers, they ain't stopping, so we punch them out the sky. Working fire like the 4th of July. We gon' make it. 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 Fly away, oh Hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. St. Peter, she rolls on. We approached the jail, that stone mountain in the middle of the city. A fast shadow fell over Rita, and when I looked up in the sky, I knew from that moment on I couldn't rely on my eyes. There above us stood two gigantic, hog-faced men with waves of fat and skin rippling. They were standing over a cauldron, a huge cast iron pot, eating what looked like raw chitlins and devouring them. Shards of flesh hung from their teeth, bled over their chins. Chunky blood poured down their necks and over their bellies, which were swollen and cracking open like overripe figs seeping jelly. St. Rita sped up to pass the scene, and I could truly witness the horror I was seeing. Those monsters were eating the arms, the legs, the torsos, the heads of living people. I grit my teeth and shook my head and my feet. Baby St. Rita, roll on! We approached the "Thou shalt not kill" billboard next to an overpass. And one of the youngsters on the bus, there's no other way to describe it, he just began to disintegrate. I had to rub my eyes to evaluate what was taking place. The boy offered no resistance. He expressed no fear. He simply disappeared. And one by one, those young vortexes of energy, those blooming fires of youth that had entered Rita and rocked her body like a wave, they dusted into nothing. Only one remained silently suffering. The St. Rita stopped hard. Outside, hundreds, no, thousands of people marched in a slow-moving mass across Martin Luther King Ave. I shivered when I saw little Daddy, that boy from the bus pass. His shirt had been ripped open. 4 quarter-size holes were burrowed into his chest, curdling over with burnt skin still smoking. Oh, I felt nauseous. Everyone around him was dead or dying violently. A young man lugged a badly wounded leg. His torso was ripped apart, exposing a buckshot-riddled heart. A woman staggered, her face shattered and scrambled in knots, smashed by what must have been a bat or a rock. A man had a knife protruding from his chest as he held the little girl's hand. Her arm was hung from her body by a thin sliver of skin. They looked like holograms, empty and translucent. The "Thou shalt not kill" billboard shone in its bold black type, heavy against the bleached bone white. St. Rita, she rolled on. I overheard an old lady who spoke as raindrops beaded and broke down St. Rita's windows. In her voice, it seemed weaved from my memory of St. Francis de Sales' golden voices, a choir for all eternity. They used to rock prayer steady as the rock of Gibraltar, robed in sky blue, a ribbon across the altar. I call her Mrs. Malonzo.
I watch my parents pass on and my children being born. I done seen what life has to offer. And the one thing I've learned in my labors is that the road that leads to God's favor is forward. knocks and through hard knocks. You got to walk on through the cold and through the hot. The only way out is through. And along the way you will go through a thing of few. All you can do is light a candle to St. Jude, know that God is with you, and walk on. I found my strength when I went through the pain, self-love when I went through shame. I found my wealth when I went without. I found my faith when I went down. I walked forward, held off them fears, 'cause hard times, that's what brought me here. And what comes next, don't worry me, 'cause I got my spirit, and my spirit moves me to walk on, yeah. Walk on and on and on. Walk on and on and on. I used to feel I couldn't make it through, so confused about what to do. Feel like I failed before I tried. Felt my hope started to slide. I walked forward, held off them fears, 'cause hard times, that's what brought me here. And what comes next, don't worry me, 'cause I got my spirit, and my spirit moves me to walk on. Walk on and on and on. Walk on. Walk on and on and on. Give me some sugar, baby. Yeah.
Just then, another memory was dislodged from my story. It was a Saturday funeral service, and the band was blaring from the church steps. Now, I was on the main line of mourners, but I couldn't remember who died. All I could recall was the second line crying to the sky, and the coffin being lifted as a boon on white glove pontoons, as the band boomed. Just like that, memory went away, and a deep nothingness took its place. It was back in the now, St. Rita rolling on. We ran through a burst of rain on piety and stopped in the sun at Independence. The Big Easy weather is unfettered by logic or common sense. Then a baby roach broke my focus on nature's impetuosity and scurried across the bottom of the window next to me. That's nasty. And I leaned to let his little body pass me. And I was about to smash his ass, but Papa Fat said, "No, you ain't no better than that roach. See, him and his kin, they witnessed dinosaurs give birth. And you best believe they're gonna trample over you, me, and all humanity once we turn dirt. And while we giants wandered the world fussing and tussling, those bugs go about their business of hustling. They always up to something. And you want to cause him strife for trying to live his life when he ain't done you nothing. Now that ain't right." T.A. came to my defense. "Oh, that roach disgusting ass intruded on that man's face. Damn, and crawled up his arm onto his face. Smash that mother. But spit on it first, baby. offering the last drink for his thirst will balance out the karma of the killing. Papa Fat shook his head with incredulity. Funny how a thing so small can inspire cosmic compassion and common cruelty. I thought on the subject, wrote message. And though my script was shaking by St. Rita's vibration, I kept my dictation steady. I envy their industry, their limitless energy and intrinsic simplicity, those four-winged, eight-legged, thousand-eyed, creeping crawlies. I loathe their bodies, terrified that their whispered touch hides a sting, and so I massacre these little things and kill without consequence. But I do fear their vengeance for their many slain brethren and crushed wings. I fear they will swarm me with a ravenous insect army. Ugh! Little monsters, they do intimidate me. Because despite the wind or the weather, in war and in peace, in trouble, and in the rubble left behind, the little things, we little things, remain still. We must be in God's grace, or just goddamn hard to kill. This empty lot that is life is awesome. When the creek done rolls and the house done washed away and the blue veil of day is lifted and infinity is revealed. And we realize that everything we experience is just a field of karmic Google hits. That we are random digits of the Googleplex. That we know nothing except that something is coming next. And for the worst, for the best, we trapped together. If only together we would celebrate and mourn and weather the storms as St. Rita rolls on.
Bravo!
Just like me.